Seriously? You just gonna build me up to bring me down? Not cool, man. Not cool. Hi, happy Manga Monday. Sorry, this one is belated. My bad. I am going to do a manga review on one that is called Mars. It is a relatively older manga, okay. So I'm just going to go over some of the basic trigger warnings real fast, so that way you know if this will be something you want to read or not. There is molestation. Our main female character, Kira, does get molested by her stepfather. There's also suicide in this one. There are a couple attempts of murder in this one. So those are just some things to keep in mind when you're reading this one. Now, our main characters are Kira, who is the female, and Ria? I'm not sure how you say the main male's name, but it's R-E-I. So, sorry, I'm trying my best. So he asks her for directions, and she just, instead of saying anything to him, she just draws him a map on how to get to the hospital. They end up being at the same high school together, and they don't necessarily automatically click. They're not all over each other and dating. It's actually relatively kind of a slow burn where they actually get to know each other and like each other for who they are instead of just straight up physical attraction. He is kind of a rebellious bad boy who rides motorcycles and, gets into trouble, while she is this good, quiet girl who likes painting. Now, eventually they do start dating. There are multiple things that happen within their relationship. I would say in general, their relationship is really good and wholesome, but the issues that they have is a lot of external issues. They have, another girl or multiple girls who are trying to date him. They have this psycho kid who's obsessed with him and following him. He does get into accidents when he's riding his motorcycle. There's also issues that she's going through at home with her family because she's living with her mom and then her stepdad who's molesting her. So naturally there are going to be a lot of issues in that kind of environment.
So something I did forget to mention, and as I was editing the video, I decided to come back through and just do a little quick video to add to it. But I also forgot to tell you guys that there are a lot of secrets on his side of the family. Going into it, you find out that his real dad is actually dead, and the guy who's standing in as his father figure is actually his uncle, and his uncle didn't have any kids, so he wants to leave him his company to run. So there is also that back story as well that you get to look into and figure out where everything combines, because the backstory of Ray, whatever his name is, the backstory to him also explains a great deal to why his brother committed suicide. So it does have a role to play in the story as a whole.
I really enjoyed this manga. It did take me a while to finish it. It is 40 chapters, and they're fairly long chapters in and of themselves. And there are somewhat roller coasters going through it, but I felt like a lot of it was fairly realistic in comparison to some other mangas where a lot of the drama is so extreme that you're like, does that actually ever really happen? And in this one, a lot of it felt more down to earth, more realistic things that could actually happen. I don't want to get too far into it any further because I don't want to give much away, and I always feel like I say this a lot, I don't want to give a whole lot of the manga away, but I really don't. If there was something really extreme in there, I tend to spoil those things because I don't want anyone watching my review being like, you didn't mention that and I read it and now I'm traumatized, because that's happened to me before. I've had recommendations and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, I'll read this, and then I read it and I'm like, oh my god, why didn't you tell me this happened? That was crazy. So in this one, there's not anything like that. It was really good, and like I said, it is an older manga, but I think it's really, really well done. The art style is not my favorite because it's old school, but I think the storyline and the plot is solid enough that I was able to kind of like just look over the art style and keep going. And it is pretty funny. There are some funny parts in the manga along with some very serious. It's a very good balance in there. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.